So I swear it's like a prerequisite. I can only record these things when I look terrible. So I'm at the hotel. I'm alone. I finally got back to New York. I'm heading back to work this week. Took a couple days off. Moved into the house up in New Hampshire. It's official. We're New Hampshire's now. New Hampshireites, New Hampshireans. Don't know. Patriots. I don't know. Anyway, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I wish you knew my father. You know, a lot of you did. Those of you that didn't, you would have loved him. He was fun. He was pretty damned awesome. Uh, Playful, stern. I grew up as a kid in the '70s and '80s, so I'm not going to reenact the Bill Burr skit, but childhood and fatherhood in the '70s and '80s is very different than it is nowadays. We're glad it changed. It's great. It's something I had to explain to Becca that the man that she knew as Poppy was not the man that raised me. That was a grandfather for her. The father that raised me was a stern man. Okay. Walk it back. Stern, maybe a little too strong of a word. But he didn't take any shit. And nobody back then did. Now this, timeout, safe space. Like I said, I'm not going to do the whole, we were tougher back then. But my dad had his hands full with me, my sister, and my brother. And, we pushed the limits. We pushed that envelope as much as we could. And between mom and dad, they kept us alive and thriving. We're pretty badass. You should meet my sister and my brother. Us Morgan kids don't screw around, man. We're tough. So, happy Father's Day. Like I said, Dad did an amazing job. Couldn't have done it without Mom. So, a little bit of Mother's Day with Father's Day. My kid is amazing, but I think that's because I was raised by a good father and mother myself. So, and I see my grandkids being raised up beautifully by GJ and Becca. So, I'm happy. There's nothing I could wish, better. I will say this, my father's passed. It's the natural order of things. We should, no one should ever see their child buried. So you see your parents go before you. It hurts. It stings, especially on days like, holidays, Father's Day, birthdays. But it is what it is. It's the natural order, and it's something we all get over. But I think everyone, if we're lucky, are blessed with more than one father. I had my father-in-law, Jerry. He did some raising, but also friends. I've got friends that held my feet to the flames and taught me some fatherly lessons. I've got friends that don't have children that I count among those that helped cultivate the man in me, the fatherly, father figure, even among my peers. So, not to take anything away from the biological Father's Day sentiment, but I would say that a lot of people have multiple fathers, people that raised you, taught you. Some people out there didn't get lucky like I did, and I will tell you, I got lucky. I had a great father. I'm serious. You would have loved him. But your uncles, your brothers. I've got a younger brother. He taught me some cool shit. I got friends of mine, uncles, people around you. I just saw, and it kind of bummed me out a little bit because I spent so much of my formative years in my job, in building a career in low voltage wiring. I spent so many months building the Museum of Science and History in Jacksonville, and I just saw that they tore it down, and there was just a little bit of heartache in me. I was like, Howard Hudgens and I rewired that entire building. I knew every nook and cranny, reinforced concrete. I spent months doing that. Howard Hudgens is not my father, but he taught me some fatherly lessons along the way. So, whether or not your father was in your life or not, let's hope you were as lucky or blessed, if you will, if that's the term you prefer, that you had a good father in your life like I did. But if not, look around to your friends, your uncles, your peers even. Everyone has somebody that kind of held their feet to the flames and said, hey, enough of your bullshit, grow up. And, wish them a happy Father's Day. Even though they ain't your dad, they're just your friends or whatever you got. All I know is I wouldn't be the man I am today if it weren't for a handful of people. But more importantly, my father, my uncles, my grandfather, I come from a pretty good lineage of men that did an amazing job, if I say so myself. I tried to do the best I could. We'll see how that turns out, man. We'll see. Anyway, happy Father's Day to all y'all. I love you. Be cool.